Hi, this is World Cultures, Unit 6, and today we're going to be talking about South America, the Andean countries. Now, the Andes dominate the geography, as noticed by the title of the subgroup, and this creates very dry deserts on their western side because of the rain shadow we talked about before in detail. Now, most people either live along the coasts or the cooler plateaus and valleys in the mountains. The climate is mostly cool to cold because of the mountains with occasionally very dry deserts, but even these dry deserts tend to be pretty cool because of both the cool ocean currents and the mountains. The ancient civilization of the Incas lived along the length of these Andes Mountains, and they were centered in what is now Peru with the capital called Cuzco. The picture there is Machu Picchu, and that is a very famous royal resort. It was a small city that the royal king and his court would go to, kind of on a vacation retreat, and it's very, very isolated, which is part of what makes it so unique. The Incas were there, similar to the Aztecs, when the Spanish showed up, and the Spanish conquistador Pizarro conquered the Incas. Again, similar to Cortez conquering the Aztecs, despite there being millions more than him, through both disease and increased weaponry and horses. The Incas did put up a larger and longer fight than the Aztecs, but they were eventually defeated. The region gained its independence from the same armies and spread of independence movements that Colombia and Venezuela were part of through the work of Simón Bolivar. And we'll talk a little bit later about what happened to those countries after that. This brings about the Columbian Exchange. Now, the Columbian Exchange is called that because of Christopher Columbus and what he started, and an exchange of people, animals, plants, diseases, religion, culture, governments, ideas, all of these different things between what is known as the Old World, Africa, Asia, Europe, and the New World, North and South America. And you can see in the chart there a lot of the different things that went. I think you'd be pretty surprised to know that Italian food didn't have tomatoes until after Christopher Columbus in the 1500s showed up with the fruit, and that the potato, known for being such a staple crop in Ireland, actually comes from South America. Now, the economy is based in large part off of cash crops. This includes illegal drugs, and you can see the burning of some there, such as coca, sugarcane, coffee, even cotton. And a lot of people live off of farming and herding all across these Andean countries. Because of the mountains, there's a lot of mining, and so mining of gold, silver, copper, platinum, a lot of other minerals that are very important for our electronics that you use every day, you simply don't know anything about them, often come from big mountain ranges like the Andes, and so mining is very important. And a large number of these people are poor and are subsistence farmers, and that kind of varies from region to region, but a large number of people do this. Chile is the richest country, while Bolivia is the poorest. The Andean countries mostly speak Spanish, mostly a blend of Roman Catholic Christianity and local Native American traditions. Just like the other Latin American countries, the Spanish influence is very large, but there are some unique differences. You can see a man there that has Japanese ancestry. He was actually the president of Ecuador, and Ecuador and Peru have very large East Asian and Southeast Asian ethnicity groups that migrated there. There is a small African population that descended from ex-slaves, but it is much smaller than other parts of Latin America. We can see Ecuador owns the Galapagos Islands, very famous islands that Charles Darwin went to when he wrote his Origin of Species, which had his theories of evolution. It is a democratic republic, but it's most recently started to show signs of socialism and being supported by Hugo Chavez of Venezuela. Peru has an interesting forced voting. Everyone that is 18 to 70 years old must vote. So it's pretty interesting and very different from some other democratic countries, including the America, where you don't have to vote. Bolivia is the poorest. It's landlocked, and landlocked means that it does not have a border that connects to the sea or even a major river that goes to the sea. And it has the highest number of Native American groups. Its actual name is the plurinational state of Bolivia, and that's meant to show its pluralism, which is a word that has to do with a lot of different groups being together. It's very diverse. Chile is very interesting. It used to be a capitalist dictatorship. Just because you're a dictator doesn't mean you're not a capitalist or support America. A man named Pinochet, who was a dictator, very friendly to the U.S., supported capitalism. But today they are a democratic republic, and they are very prosperous in large part because of their past capitalism.